It's Monday, April 8th, 2013, and this is the StephenBlakesley.com podcast. On today's podcast, we will talk to Shane Golobic, the 2012 Ocean Sprints champion, who won his first career World of Outlaws main event on Friday night at Antioch. But first, a look at the racing results from over the weekend. On Friday night, the World of Outlaws hit the Antioch Speedway quarter mile in front of a packed house of fans. John Allard and Shane Golobic set the front row for the 30-lap contest. The pair battled side by side on two different occasions before finally lap traffic got the better of Allard, allowing Golobic to take the lead on lap 10. Traffic nearly did Golobic in as well, with Joey Saldana chasing Golobic down. In the end, Golobic took the well-deserved victory ahead of Joey Saldana and Cody Dara. Tim Kading was fourth, and Kyle Larson rounded out the top five. A rainout of the 360 show at Chico sent Andy Forsberg to Watsonville, where he won round two of the Ocean Sprints presented by Taco Bravo. A $1,500 bounty for being a Civil War car gained Forsberg a $3,000 haul for the win. Forsberg went toe-to-toe with Watsonville's Justin Sanders in a thrilling duel. Sanders led the first 24 laps ahead of Forsberg before his engine expired. Forsberg took the lead and never looked back ahead of points leader Brad Furr and Nick Green, who rounded out the podium.
It's cool they're giving us $1,500 extra to come down here and do this, but thank you, John Prentice, and everybody at Ocean Speedway for putting that up, and I know he does a good job, as well as the PR and the staff down here do a great job getting this place sponsored. So aside from that, the cockiness to me is just say, yeah, I would have had Sanders no problem, but you know what, he was fast. I felt like I was getting better at the end. I had a pretty decent run on him. I don't know if his motor was starting to lay down off a tube, but I think it was good to get good. You know, that's what I'll tell myself, but it really only matters that we won. So, I mean, we'll take it, and it's going to be a nice trip home back to Auburn.
Calistoga Speedway and Petaluma Speedway both rained out on Saturday, so the 360 trail moved on to Placerville Speedway with a strong turnout of cars. Kyle Larson would not be deterred after his fifth-place finish on Friday, getting the win on Saturday in Paul Silva's number 57. Justin Sanders had a comeback run after his Watsonville problems to come home in second ahead of Willie Croft and Forsberg. Midwest standout Brian Brown used the Calistoga rainout to tow down to Hanford for the Rebel Cup opener, where he topped a 19-car turnout. Saturday night also saw the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series opener at All-American Speedway in Roseville for NASCAR Late Models and NASCAR Modifieds. The 60-lap late model feature was won by Loomis's Chris Scribner after a great battle with Ron Chun, while the 19-car modified main event was shortened to 22 laps but won by Jay Lindström. Lindström's win came aboard the new Eclipse Racing program, which fielded 5 modifieds primarily for young development drivers. Our own Outback Andy Foster is the announcer at All-American Speedway and caught up with Scribner after his late model win.
Yeah, you know, first off, I want to thank my sponsors, Quick Crack Car Wash, Scribner Plastics, Race Media Group. You know, they're all a big help to us. We got some other sponsors, you know, Redline Oil and Zamp Helmets, but, you know, it was a good race. You know, we thought there was going to be some yellows, and we went with high tire pressure to overcome the yellows, but lo and behold, you know, the first, I think it was first 25, 30 laps there, it went full green flag, and, you know, we toasted our tires pretty good. We got past the 13 on the restart there and got another yellow. We were able to start on the outside of 44, and, you know, we got him on the restart, able to keep him down and hold on the lead, and, you know, he pressured me quite a bit there towards the end. You know, we were really working it. You know, he was working at getting under me, and I was working at paddling it, keeping from spinning the tires and staying in front of him, and all in all, it was a good race.
The NASCAR season also kicked off at Stockton 99 Speedway on Saturday with twin 30-lap modified main events being split by Jason Philpott and Mikey Riegelman. The main event on Saturday at Stockton was the Spears SRL Southwest Tour, which debuted brand new double-file restarts for the first time. Derek Thorn took quick time but had to start out of the 6th position after the invert. After taking the lead, a mid-race restart set the stage for a thrilling duel between Thorn and Jim Pettit. Pettit led for several laps after getting around Thorn on the outside, but Thorn reeled him in lap traffic to take the lead back. A late restart with 9 to go would have set up another great duel, but the field was set single file within 10 laps of the finish. Thorn took advantage and drove away to a comfortable win to become the winningest driver in the SRL Series history, ironically taking that mark from Pettit.
Looking back on the beginning of the race, Jim and I raced a little harder than I would have liked to have seen. Really wasn't a whole lot of give and take, I think, on his part. But, after everything kind of sorted out, I got the luck of the draw based on how the traffic fell and stuff. So I was able to get on the lead and run my pace. I was able to save my stop while I was doing that, and he had to kind of hustle to get around the two cars that were between myself and him. And once he did, I think he used up a little bit more of his stuff than what I had left. But, all in all, I got to wish Byron Campbell, my boss man, the guy that owns the team, his happy 51st birthday. Should be about time right now. I don't know if it's midnight or not, but then also wish my brother a happy 18th birthday on Monday. So all in all, it's a great weekend for us to not only come out on top as winners, but to be labeled as, the most wins in the Spears SRL Southwest Tour. And I think we have the most fast times in the Spears Southwest Tour. So, it's a great series with great guys, great drivers. And I've been having a lot of fun doing what I'm doing, and I'm glad tonight turned out well.
This weekend, StephenBlakeslee.com will return to Ocean Speedway Watsonville for round number 3 of the Ocean Sprints presented by Taco Bravo, with live Twitter updates on the Twitter handle @StephenBlakeslee. When we come back to the StephenBlakeslee.com podcast, we'll talk to Ocean Sprints champion Shane Golobic about his World of Outlaws win on Friday. But first, a look at our sponsors. StephenBlakeslee.com is brought to you by MotoWear International. Throughout the world of racing, there is a common thread. MotoWear, online at MotoWear.com. And also brought to you by Matt Jackson of Proline Pit Carts, the promoter of the Toyota Southwest Superlates, racing on the road course at Willow Springs in 2013. For more information, visit swsracing.com. And we're back on the StephenBlakeslee.com podcast, and we're talking to Shane Golobic, who picked up his first career World of Outlaws win on Friday night at Antioch Speedway. And Shane, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. Honored to be on.
So now, first things first, I'm wondering what your experience level is like at Antioch going into this race.
We've raced a few races there. Never had much success. We've always been pretty bad at qualifying. At that place in particular, and that was kind of a concern heading into the night because qualifying with the Outlaws is huge, and if you can get in the invert and start front in the heat race, that'll make your night a lot easier, and we were able to do that, so it made our night, it started our night off really well, and we were able to capitalize on it in the heat and win the heat and then get in the dash, and we actually got a lucky invert pill and started on the pole of the dash and really set up our night really well. So put us on the front row of the feature, and we were able to come out with our first Outlaw win, which was unreal. So I'm still kind of high on life right now. It's just pretty cool.
Now, when you're sitting there getting ready to get pushed off and you're starting on the outside front row for World of Outlaws main event, were you pretty confident that you had a shot at this thing?
Yeah, the car felt really good all night, and I knew I had a great starting spot for how the track was, and I knew it was going to take a few laps for it to kind of widen up and get racy. So I loved my starting spot, and then also we were starting alongside Jonathan Howard, who is he's a California guy too, obviously. So I've been racing with him for the past few years, and I really trust racing with him. He's a great driver, so I was not too nervous at all. I knew I had the heavy hitters behind me, but as long as I could fend them off and maybe get Jonathan, we had a good shot at it. So I was really, really excited. I was actually really calm compared to what I kind of would have thought I would have been. So it was just an awesome night.
And it was pretty cool that you had your 2012 Ocean Sprints car owner, Steve Osborne, in the pits. And of course, you were driving Jovan Schultz's 121. What did this whole thing mean to those two guys? I have to imagine this was pretty big for Joe.
Yeah, Joe and Steve, they were both pretty excited. Joe especially. I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. He took a chance on me when I was 16, put me in his car, and we had some early success. That was followed up with kind of a sophomore slump stage where he probably easily could have tried to go a different direction, and he stuck with me. And this past off season, he put together a car that's just unreal, and we've been racing it this year for the first time. It's just there's no car that's better out there, so it makes my job a lot easier. And coming to the racetrack knowing that even though we're not big outlaws or anything, we've got the equipment just as good as them, and it's just up to me to kind of put it in victory lane, and we were able to do that. And I was just super happy for Joe, and he actually made it out. He wasn't planning on going out because he works on weekdays. So Friday he was working all day, and he heard we qualified pretty good, so he hopped in his car and ran out there to Antioch and got to see it all. So it was really cool.
And you've done a lot of big things in your career, but I have to imagine this is right up there at the top.
Oh yeah, definitely by far my biggest win. That's for sure. It's like the pinnacle of what we do in open wheel racing, just beating the Outlaws. They're the best. I mean, bar none. Like, I know there's a lot of good guys in the non-wing ranks and all that, but in my opinion, the Outlaws are the best of the best in the sprint car world. So to be able to beat them and have that on the resume is pretty awesome. It's something I'll never forget, and it's something nobody can ever take away from me. So pretty awesome.
And if you take a step back from this and you look at your run at the Mini Gold Cup where you were 4th and you were 6th at Merced, I mean, this wasn't some type of fluke deal. You guys were competitive quite a bit throughout this World of Outlaws swing.
Yeah, we've had a couple good runs, which made it just made it more and more fun. The first night when we got 4th at the Mini Gold Cup, like you said, it was awesome. I mean, we thought we had a shot to win that one too, so that just really got the confidence going, and we just wanted to come back each week or every race and back up what we did and just prove that, we're a force to be reckoned with out here on the West Coast. We were able to get a win, which was our ultimate goal, and just really, really excited for it. So I'm just really excited.
And you look over the last 12 months and you've been so busy driving so many different types of race cars, but having success in all of them. You win the Ocean Sprints title. You have that big run in the top 10 at the Chili Bowl. You get a top 5 at the Turkey Night Grand Prix. You've just been kind of all over the place, and it's been going well for you. How great has this last year or so been for you guys?
It's been awesome. I've been blessed with the opportunity to drive a bunch of great cars in all the different types of cars, midget, sprint cars, non-wing, wing, 360, 410. And I'm always being in great opportunities where the cars are really good and makes my job a lot easier. And we've been able to come out with some good finishes. So yeah, the past year or so, we've just been going really good. And looking back, there's been a couple times where it seems like we were gonna have another shot at winning and something would go wrong. So, I mean, even though it's been going super well, it still seems like, there's a little bit more that we can do. So it's going to keep us going this year, and hopefully we can make this year the best one yet.
And in some ways, if you look forward at your 2013 season coming up, perhaps your best opportunity to get a lot of wins is going to be driving Keith Day's number 22 car. And you haven't even turned a wheel with them yet this season, and you're already having a great year. And it looks to me, at least, with what you guys have planned with running a lot of races at Watsonville and doing some ASCS stuff, that you might be in store for a pile of wins possibly with these guys.
Yeah, I headed down there to Salinas where the car is at yesterday and kind of worked on it, and we fired it up for the first time. The car is just beautiful. It's top of the line stuff, just like Joe Von Schultz's car. I mean, I'm lucky to be in these cars that are just great cars, and just makes my job way easier, like I keep saying. But it's going to be a good year with those guys. I love working with them. With the 121 team, we're racing kind of with my family. My dad's my crew chief, and Joe's basically family. He's become part of our family over the last few years. So when I went out and, when you're thinking of getting a different ride, it feels like it's hard to find another ride that has that kind of family feeling. And I found that with the 22 team. It's just, they're really cool people, and it's just no pressure. We're going out there and they want to win and I want to win, and they want to have fun and I want to have fun. And we go out there and I think we're going to have some good runs this year. And I mean, we've already beat the Outlaws, so hopefully we can go out and run with the ASCS national guys and see if we can beat them.
And when I look at your schedule, you look at that race in August, you get to run the Belleville Midget Nationals. Is that going to be with Doug Bach's crew, or is that a Wilkie Pack entry?
It's going to be the Wilkie Pack entry. We're going to run a couple races for them this year. Depending how it goes, hopefully we can get some more, towards the end of the year. We're going to run the 100 for them, too, at the end of May on a Friday night, so that'll be pretty cool, too. Definitely excited to get back in the Wilkie Pack car. Those guys are awesome to run for, too, so yeah, this year's shaping up to be pretty good for me. Hopefully we can make the most of it.
Now, as far as Belleville is that a place that you've raced before? Of course, that place has an amazing reputation as far as the high banking and just how fast you go running up against the guardrail. It's quite an event from what I understand.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go back there 2 years in a row, a couple years back with Doug Bach and the 26 team, and we had some really strong runs there, actually. We ended up, the second year we went, we had 2 top 10s for both nights, Friday and Saturday, and felt like we were pretty darn good. So hopefully now I'm gonna go. I've matured a little bit more. I think I've become a better driver since then. And hopefully we can go back there with the 11 car and see if we can win it.
So, considering you guys aren't going to be running for points really anywhere, was there any temptation for this Friday to possibly to try to go to Hanford and get another World of Outlaws win, or at least be in contention for it? Or are you all locked in this weekend with the Keith Day guys?
Well, obviously, coming off the win, I'm definitely bummed that we're not going to be able to make it to Hanford, but I'm really, really excited to run the 22 car and get going with them. And we've already missed the first couple ocean races because we raced outlaw races instead. So I'm really excited to get in the 22. The car looks really good. I'm really excited to get working with Rick Bragg and Keith and Ronnie and all the guys over there and get the season kicked off with them because they're really, really helping me out this year and give me an awesome opportunity. So really excited for that.
Well, you know what? I think it's a little bit of a testament, if I can brag a little bit on the Ocean Watsonville deal, that a guy like yourself, you spent a year or two out there and you go out and get yourself a World of Outlaws win. And of course, when we announced that at Watsonville, it got a very loud response from the fans, and everyone involved in that series is, of course, very proud of what you're doing. But just overall, I think it's safe to say that you've been a good ambassador for California sprint car racing everywhere you've gone, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get back out to Watsonville. I consider it my home track. Love the fans out there, and I was really humbled to hear that they gave me a good ovation when you guys announced it out there. So really cool. Hopefully we can go out there and get a win and put on a show for those guys because all those fans, we love them out there at Watsonville. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks out here on the West Coast, so definitely looking forward to it.
We want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the StephenBlakesley.com podcast. A thanks again to our guest, Shane Golobic, and congratulations to him for his win at Antioch. And also thank you to our correspondent, Outback Andy Foster, for the interviews from All-American Speedway. Another reminder, we will have live Twitter updates from Ocean Speedway Watsonville on Friday for round 3 of the Taco Bravo Sprint Cars. Just follow us on the Twitter handle at Stephen Blakesley. And for the best in short track racing news, you can follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you at the races.